Apple just held their Wonderlust event where they announced the Apple Watch Series 9 and Ultra, as well as iPhone 15 and 15 Pro. There wasn't a lot of new changes, but here is what we got. And the event started with the Apple Watch, and the first notable change was the color of the Apple Watch, pink. The other colors are Starlight, Silver, Midnight and Product Red. On the inside of the Apple Watch is the brand new S9 SIP, which thankfully isn't just a rename of the S6. S9 is faster in every way and has a 4-core neural engine that powers Siri on device, so Siri should be more responsive, at least on the most common commands, and you can even use Siri to give you health data. The U2 chip lets you ping your iPhone, bring up media suggestions, or playing now in the Smart Stack when you are close to the HomePod. The display also got an impressive update. It can now go up to 2000 nits and as low as 1 nit. You can even control some parts of your watch with hand gestures or pinching with your fingers. You can control everything from answering and hanging up on phone calls, snoozing alarms and stop timers, to mention a few things. And some of you might have noticed that this isn't necessarily a new feature. It already exists in the Apple Watch as an accessibility feature, but according to Apple, this will only come to the new Apple Watches with the S9 SIP. Last but not least, Apple boasts that the Apple Watch Series 9 is 100% carbon neutral, including the Apple Watch bands. Like the Series 9, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 also gets the S9 SIP, which gives you Siri on device and the gesture control, as well as a U2 chip and all its features. The Apple Watch Ultra display also got a little brightness bump to 3000 nits. And there's the new watch face that takes advantage of the whole display. The Apple Watch Ultra is also carbon neutral with either the Alpine or Trail loop. Alright, iPhone 15. The rumors were true. We got USB-C, but at USB 2 speeds and no color matching cables. The USB-C port does give the iPhone a nice feature, and that is the ability to charge your AirPods or Apple Watch from your iPhone. Yes, the AirPods Pro 2 did get an update with USB-C. The iPhone 15 also got the A16 chip from the iPhone 14 Pro last year, along with Dynamic Island and the screen that can go up to 2000 nits peak brightness outside. And with the A16 chip, Apple added voice isolations in phone calls when you are in loud areas. The main camera sensor also came down to the iPhone 15 this year, going from 12 megapixels to 48 megapixels that also have the optical stabilization. Apple also added a 2x zoom option to get telephoto photos with the 2 cameras on the phone. The camera app also recognizes subjects like humans and animals and captures depth data so that you can make a portrait photo afterwards. The U2 chip is also here in iPhone 15. This has a 3x longer reach, and Apple added the feature that allows you to find your friends. Other than a few new features, this is basically an iPhone 14 Pro without like the Pro features like a third camera and the Pro Motion display. The colors are black, blue, green, yellow and pink, and starts at $799 for the 6.1 inch model and $899 for the Plus model. As for the Pro models, it got an A17 Pro chip, which has some dedicated engines for AV1, ProRes and display. It also has a USB 3 controller, which means you can get transfer speeds up to 10 gigabits a second, more on that later. But I know it was just a rumor, but would it be that hard to give us Thunderbolt 3 or USB 4? Well, I guess that's for the iPhone 16. We also have a titanium casing that is sanded, brushed and blasted. The bezels are also slightly smaller, which means the Pro phones are actually slightly smaller in size instead of a slightly bigger display. We also got to say goodbye to the mute switch and say hello to the action button. The rumors alluded to the action button being a haptic button, but it's not. It's physical. By default, it's a mute switch with a long press, and you can change it to start a voice recording, access accessibility features, and run shortcuts, to name a few options. The only downside I see to this is that it's not that easy to know if your phone is on mute or not without looking. The iPhone 15 Pro still has a 48 megapixel sensor, but it's bigger than the one in the iPhone 15. And now Apple have made some presets for different focal length on a main sensor, so you will crop in on the main sensor and get more and more zoomed in photos without quality degradation. The telephoto lens is 3x on the Pro and 5x on the Pro Max. But in general, the camera has gotten some awesome updates for the Pro models, like tethering with Capture One, 4K ProRes up to 60 frames per second, and in combination with the 10 gigabit transfer speed from the USB-C port, you can record that ProRes footage to an external drive. You can also shoot in log, which looks looks like this, and yeah, I know it's sort of flat and boring to look at, but it gives a lot of flexibility in post. And the iPhone 15 also supports ACES, so, and that is sort of, if you know, you know. If not, don't worry about it. And I almost forgot, the iPhone 15 Pro can also shoot spatial video for the Vision Pro. This was almost expected because almost no one is shooting spatial videos on the Vision Pro. The iPhone 15 Pro starts at $999 with 128 gigabytes of storage, and the Pro Max starts at $1199 with 256 gigabytes of storage. So I wouldn't call this a price hike because the Pro Max last year also cost the same with the same amount of storage, so Apple just cut the lower tiered one, if you want to call it that, with less storage. So yes, the Pro Max price starts higher than last year, but it's sort of still the same price. So that is what we got this year at the Apple's Wonderlust event. And yeah, the iPhone 15 does look like a great upgrade from the 14 at least. So for those who are buying the 15 and 15 Plus, it looks like they're getting a great upgrade. So are you going to buy some products, or what are your thoughts on? Let me know down in the comments and subscribe for more content.